With the first pick in the 2019 NBA Draft, the New Orleans Pelicans select Zion Williamson from Duke University.
The emotions evident for Zion as he becomes the third #1 overall pick from Duke. That ties Kentucky for the most in the common draft era. The Blue Devils previously taken #1 overall, Elton Brand and Kyrie Irving. Zion averaged over 22 points, 9 rebounds per game. He won the Wooden Award, scored 81 points in the ACC tournament, most by a freshman in ACC history, and now is making that walk to start his professional career and to really assume the mantle that Anthony Davis leaves behind after the trade and be the face of a franchise in New Orleans.
Shot 82% in transition, the highest player efficiency rating in the last 10 years. They've only been keeping that for 10 years, higher than even Anthony Davis, who is a spectacular superstar in the NBA. He's got star written all over him, really superstar.
The Memphis Grizzlies select Moran from Murray State University.
It was a little over a year ago, I guess, that our draft guys said maybe Ja Morant was a fringe draft guy at all. Then, from the Memphis Grizzlies, spent his whole career there, the great Mike Conley point guard, and now Ja Morant takes over in Memphis, Johnson.
Yeah, I think is a wonderful prospect, and like you said, kind of came out of nowhere. I love those guys with chips on their shoulders, and he plays the game the right way, Jay. You know him a lot better than anybody.
Well, he's the best passer in the draft, Chauncey. He's got creativity, delivery with either hand. He's an ambidextrous passer, averaged 10 assists per game. That led the nation. He's also really creative. He doesn't just see angles, he creates angles, body control.
New York, 1:41 in the PM. 77 degrees in New York. It's a blistering day, but we are collectively staring the NBA Finals in the face. A collection of institutions in the conference finals. LeBron, Jean-Paul George, Tim Duncan, and Kevin Durant. Of course, everybody on the edges of their seats to see who ends up in the holy land of the NBA. But here is the problem. Here is why those edges of the seats lie. The NBA is not rigged. It is, and I have been sitting on this for quite some time, but pure fiction. It is a pre-scripted entertainment option that we have all fallen victim to. Let me explain. It starts with the referees, but certainly goes far beyond. Take a long look. You've seen this face many, many a time in this playoffs. You've seen that face consulting the table for calls late in games, not because he, Joseph Crawford, has been reviewing calls. No, it is because he is reviewing the script. We will get to that momentarily. There is a very clear script set in place. It has been set in place for months and months, and in some cases, years ahead of the outcome. Years. Let that sink in. This is stuff that has been predetermined by entertainment types. The ratings do not lie. Other things contributing to this report that I am filing today. Look at these stars. It is not an accident that they are always ending up deep in the playoffs. You might be saying, sure, it's because of their athletic ability, because it's their ability to close games. But I'm telling you here today that they are actors that happen to be very athletic. What do great actors get? They get great roles. They get screen time. They get the babes. They get the attention. They get the glitter. They are damn stars. And what do stars do? You look at your George Clooney's, your Matthew Damon's, your Bradley Pitts. They get endorsements. Their images push products, sell brands. These are entertainers that happen, again, to be athletic, not an accident. That's who rules this world. And now you might be saying to yourself, what about NBA governance? What about NBA officials at the top? We've seen the transition from David Stern to Adam Silver, but take a long look at this, gentlemen. You're telling me that's not the product of years and years of master casting? Look at this. Look at this. Come on. Be smarter than that, America. They've done a fantastic job of casting characters. These are not accidents once they happen again and again and again. We're talking about an announcer who was a coach a week ago. That's very convenient. Very great storyline there, NBA. The Lakers all of a sudden down and out. Los Angeles is a comeback town. Everybody knows this. Lakers will be back. That's a storyline. This is excitement. This is drama. This is comedy. This is suspense. These are thrillers. This is ratings. What type of mind does it take to pull off something on this scale, on this level?
Hey, Jim, why in the hell does every NBA playoff series between two popular teams always go 7 games? It is freaking rigged. Yeah, well, based on how this series has gone, you can't really rig it. I mean, this is one of those popular theories and conspiracies. They don't rig series.
Right. Well, people's logic is that you rig series for better ratings. I think the NBA gets better ratings because people think that the games are rigged. It's this whole storyline that David Stern and the NBA can kind of play with and maybe laugh about a little bit. But you look at it, I mean, the Spurs were living on the line at the end of regulation. If they were really going to rig it, they would have done it then and not in overtime when the calls were controversial.
The refs did not blow a 13-point lead. The refs did not blow a 10-point fourth-quarter lead. The refs didn't turn it over and fail to block out.
The refs weren't in the corner shooting the three that Ray Allen did. But you have to admit, don't you guys think that David Stern's somewhere giggling? Like, he loves this rig talk. I think he thinks it's funny.
Well, I don't know. I asked him about it once. He didn't think it was funny at all.
Really? I guarantee there's a part of that guy that sits there and goes, man, these idiots still think I'm rigging the league. Like, he has some earpiece in the ref's ear going, all right, no foul on Ginobili. No foul on Ginobili, guys.
Alien. Now, you've heard of the Illuminati.
Yes.
For young,
I'm big into the Illuminati.
Are you really?
So explain.
But I've heard of it.
Explain what the Illuminati is to young people listening.
Oh,
it's a series of powerful men.
Conspiracy theories about this group of powerful people in Hollywood and throughout the world that run everything, right? That's pretty much it.
They dictate policy. They dictate everything shy of interest rates, or maybe they do. That there's this powerful group of 20, 30 people. George Soros has always been talked about. There's people in Hollywood. I've always had a theory. I'm going to introduce you to what I call the NBA Illuminati. Okay, so I said this to my staff.
I can't wait to see this.
Okay. That the NBA has always been controlled by about 8 people. The commissioner, a power broker, used to be Jerry Colangelo, now it's Wild. What's the World Wide West?
Oh, World Wide West.
Okay. The 2 top agents, one of them Steve Bartlestein.
You mean Mark
Bartlestein. So right now it would be Adam Silver, World Wide West, the 2 top agents, the CEO of Nike, and Kevin Plank, the CEO of Under Armour, and the 4 players. Now, they're not necessarily the 4 best players, but they're the 4 global players. LeBron, D. Wade. They have influence among other players. Chris Paul, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and Dwayne Wade. They're not the best players. James Harden's better than some. Westbrook's better. They're not shifting policy. And I've always believed this to be true, that the head of Nike, the Adidas's, the commissioner, it is unspoken. They don't need to meet. There's not constant texting. But between World Wide Wes, LeBron, his people, the commissioner, there's an understanding of where the league should go. And I believe, this is why we got into this discussion this morning, Chris Broussard. You're looking at me like I'm crazy.
Yeah, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not feeling this. But go ahead.
Here's my theory. So as everybody talks about Westbrook, that LeBron and the league leaders look at this and think dynamic and fun. He's not part of it. Iverson was never part of it. There are great players in this league that will never dictate the league, and that Westbrook is becoming Iverson. A fireworks show. We're in awe of it. But the agents will not direct Blake Griffin to him. They will not direct power to him. Am I out of my gourd? I think this is remarkable.
Absolutely, positively out of your mind. You know what this is becoming? You and Westbrook. This is the equivalent of the Skip Bayless, LeBron, James feud, if you will.
I don't have a feud.
You are killing Westbrook.
Yes.
Now, Westbrook, look, there's no Illuminati. There's no NBA Illuminati. All right? What it is, LeBron James is the most powerful NBA player ever, including Michael Jordan. Because right now, LeBron is a business mogul. And he is impacting things, and other players are seeing, he has wielded power that we've never seen a player wield.
Agree.
Like when he left Cleveland, people were looking at, he just wants to go to Miami and win. He was looking at it like, if the owner traded me or someone else, nobody would blink an eye. Why can he decide to pick a team, but I can't decide to pick a team?
That's why I defended him. Totally agree.
And look at what happened. I don't think Carmelo Anthony necessarily leaves Denver if LeBron hadn't done what he did.
It changed the way the world works.
And most guys, it didn't work out for. Dwight Howard.
Sounds a little like NBA Illuminati.
But it's just him. It's just him. Like, look.
Illuminati. The league makes its decision based on the commissioner, 2 strong owners, 2 top agents, maybe a shoe company guy or 2, and they really swing players to certain places. They decide, okay, this guy, Chris Paul, we'll let him go to L.A., but he can't go to the Lakers. And this guy can move here, and this guy can move. And they kind of just, without saying it, they groove people into places. Well, my staff thinks it's more than ironic that New Orleans is dying as a franchise, and Anthony Davis is considered the next big star and hasn't done anything, and suddenly they move the All-Star game of all the places they move it to New Orleans, the dying franchise, and now they move DeMarcus Cousins, ends up in New Orleans. Because it's a dying franchise, and Anthony Davis is the next big star, and the Blake Griffin run is over, and after LeBron, the league desperately needs the next big star. Because, you're sitting around looking right now, outside of who is the next big star? Russell Westbrook's in OKC. He's not going anywhere. That's not moving the needle. So Anthony Davis is considered the guy. And the NBA's like, we got to elevate the guy. Let's put another guy with him. So that's what my staff thinks. I don't necessarily think that's true, but I will say this. The league is trying to help New Orleans. Remember, they had Chris Paul. Didn't they have Chris Paul try to make that deal? The NBA stepped in and said, no, not a good enough deal. And then now they give him a second All-Star weekend, and now they move Boogie Cousins there. It's convenient. I swear to God, I haven't gotten to my good stuff yet.
Hey, what's going on with y'all, man? It's Black Balloon coming back with another video. That was the Initiated Part 2. And y'all already know, man. So real quick, you know, just to kind of give you like a little summary of where I was going with the video. You know, it was just to show you that how these players are, you know, often chose and how the entire thing is basically scripted, you know, especially like, you know, who we call the superstars of the NBA and some of the faces of the league. You know, a lot of their careers are scripted, you know, and, you know, shit, as fans, we get fooled. We get fooled because, you know, we basically, you know, we start to idolize these players and they start becoming, you know, like figures in people's lives, and people want to be like these players when most of the time it didn't happen naturally for them, you know, especially Kobe. That's why I picked the fact that he wore the number 33 in high school, just to let you know that he was already chosen. He was already a part, you know, to be a part of the brotherhood once he, you know, completed the entire high school, the NBA process. That's why Kobe became Kobe. You know, had it just been like some regular dude wore number 33 and he never became Kobe Bryant, then it's like, all right, that wasn't, you know, that was just him wearing 33. But this is not the case. Kobe obviously became one of the greatest players to ever play. So it goes to show you that, you know, we can't trust anything, especially not the background that we get of the players. You know what I'm saying? Like, we really don't even know. Like, we don't know where Kobe from. Like, he was fluent in a whole nother language. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, people can learn and blah, 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 but still, it just goes to show you that's why they were able to have, like, that predictive programming around Kobe's death. That's why so much numbers lined up in gematria and the show where it predicted him dying in the helicopter, and then you had music videos that, you know, were all symbolic around his death. That's why that was able to happen. It's because it was scripted to happen that way. You know, Michael Jordan's career scripted. LeBron James' career scripted. I'm sure Zion's career is scripted as well. That's why I think he's the next face of the league. That's why they did all those puzzles to get Zion to New Orleans and to get Anthony Davis to clear that space and get him to the Lakers. It's all scripted. All scripted for basically, for Zion to become the next face of the league, to continue to be able to, like, bring in money the way LeBron does. LeBron is like a mogul, you know, like, they need someone to basically continue that, you know. Every sport has their, you know, they're like cash cow, the face of the league. Tom Brady for the NFL. Patrick Mahomes is now about to be that new face once Brady is finished phasing out. Same with the NBA and Zion and LeBron. And soccer, damn, what's the one dude's name? He like super famous and shit. I forget old dude's name, but y'all know who I'm talking about. You know, every sport has just basically that one player that's the face of the league and that has as much power and probably even more power than the people that own his team. You know, and that's speaking on people like LeBron, you know, and Chris Paul, you know, guys that are like really at the top of the brotherhood of the NBA, which is a very select few of people, like he said, you know, and not every player has that much influence over the league and over people, just period, you know. So, you know, that's just kind of what it is at the end of the day, you know. So, you know, that's mostly where I was going with the video, and to just, you know, make y'all see that, you know, this shit is definitely scripted. You know, it's WWE, damn near. All of this shit is damn near WWE. You know what I'm saying? Like Zion being Zion, we don't know where Zion really is. Like, where did Zion even come from? 6'7", almost 300 pounds. They might have made Zion in the lab. Nah, let me stop playing. But that it's crazy that he could be that big and move the way he do, though. Like, he really might have came from a lab on some shit. They pit him together to be in the league on some shit. Like, they made Zion, and then Zion You know, he's destined to be the next NBA great. You know, this could have been a whole plan from when Zion was born on some shit. Like, we have no idea, man. I gotta try kind of like, you know, stress to y'all that, you know, we really don't know the background of these players, man. We really don't. You know, even LeBron, you know, I think it's just only been LeBron and his mom. You know, you don't really know much about his family. Obviously, they say he didn't have a dad in his life. But that's almost similar to the way Zion is coming up. You know, they like real strong love for the mom. You know, I don't think Zion has his real dad in his life. I think he has a stepfather, you know, but it's the same thing. We probably not going to see much of the stepfather. It's going to be Zion and his mom all the time. You know, it almost looked like the same script with him and LeBron, you know, the way they like rolling out Zion to be the next face of the league. So that's just like, you know, little small things you got to pay attention to because all this shit is scripted, man. All this shit is scripted. Like, and me, and me jumping, you know, because I felt like it kind of might have been kind of like random when I added Steph Curry in there about the shoe deals and KD having the shoe deals and shit. But y'all already know you're not getting that kind of shit in the league, in the industry, if you haven't sold out, if you're not a part of the brotherhood. And we all know Steph Curry is a part of that shit. If you type in anything that has to do with like Freemason, NBA, or Illuminati or whatever, Steph Curry always pops up. Bron always pops up. James Harden always pops up. KD always pops up. Chris Paul pops up. So it's right there. Like, you know, the algorithms on the internet already knows who to pull up when we want to search for that shit. So it's like right in your face. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, you know, not to keep this too long, man. That's the Initiated Part 2. Obviously, I can keep going with that series, which I will. You know, which is why I didn't really just make that a really long video because I just want to keep it in parts. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully y'all rocking with the video, man. Y'all already know we keeping the content coming. You know, and y'all, you know, continue to request. Continue to let me know what y'all think in the comments. And I'm out.